People that see flipped cars scramble to help the family within as a tornado rages around them. In emergency situations, a human's more animal instincts sometimes take over. People just want to get themselves and their family to safety, even at the expense of others facing the same dangerous situation. Fortunately, it is possible for regular people to be selfless in the face of danger. When a terrible storm hit one family, they thought they could escape in their car, but when their flight took a turn for the worse, they had no choice but to wait for the inevitable. A storm was brewing in Texas. Torrential downpours ripped through the state and a tornado touched down near Dallas. Emily and Philip Ogletree tore down the rain-soaked highway in an SUV, fleeing to a shelter. In the back seat, their kids, 18-month-old Addie and 4-month-old Marshall, were strapped into their car seats, so they, like their parents, were helpless when the truck hydroplaned on the wet roads. Also, if you have not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these real-life stories every day. Now, back to the story. Philip lost control of the vehicle, and the family's black Chevrolet flipped on its roof into floodwaters raging roadside like a river. Now upside down, the water whipped past the doors and windows. Philip and Emily tried opening the partially submerged doors, but the fearsome flood prevented them from doing so. Worse, water leaked into the truck's cabin. The family panicked.
Water was coming into the cab of the truck.
When it's pitch black in a car and you can't see anything and you can't find your kids, you panic.
Completely trapped and blind, she banged on the roof, yelled and screamed for help. What Philip and Emily didn't know, however, was that outside in the rain, a passerby named Thomas Mitchell, saw the upside-down truck. He didn't know if anyone was inside, but he stopped to check anyway. Thomas was not the only concerned passerby, though. As tornado sirens wailed in the distance, telling Texans to find safety fast, 5 other men, now 6 total, braved the tornado to inspect the flipped vehicle. When one of the Good Samaritans, Corey Prox, heard screaming coming from inside the truck, he went into panic mode. He smashed the car's windows, revealing to the helpers the terrified family trapped inside. Philip and Emily had been scrambling to save their kids, but under the stress and pressure failed to do so. The helpers tried pulling the parents from the wreck, but Emily had another plan for them.
Give them life before you try and help me. I'm fine. I am an adult. I can manage my own. I will figure out a way to get out of this vehicle. They cannot.
The heroic men complied. Philip and Emily scrambled through a broken window to dry land. Feeling utterly helpless, the parents watched and Thomas filmed the scene as the rescuers fought floodwaters to save Marshall and Andy. In the car, meanwhile, one rescuer called for a knife to cut the kids free from their car seats. Just moments later, a rescuer emerged from the watery wreckage carrying baby Marshall. One rescuer shouted, "Call 911, but what about Addie?" He held Addie still strapped into her car seat. The 18-month-old had turned a bluish gray and stopped breathing. Thomas then pocketed the phone and ran to perform CPR. As luck would have it though, one of the men who stopped to help was Jay Martinez, a former firefighter in Guatemala. Though he worked as a musician at the time of the accident, he never forgot his rescue training.
I did what I had to do, and that's all.
It just kicks in, he later said. He administered CPR to the struggling little girl and kept her alive long enough to pass her off to first responders just minutes later. Medics then took Addie and Marshall to the hospital. Marshall only spent 1 day at Children's Medical Center in Dallas. Addie, on the other hand, fought for her life a bit longer. A few days later, Philip posted an update about little Addie on social media. "I just want everyone to know she's definitely on the road to recovery," Philip wrote. "I want to thank each and every one of y'all who've prayed and donated everything to help us." The father had a special message for the 6 rescuers. "Life comes at you in a blink of an eye," Philip wrote. "I can't thank you all enough who came into the water and saved my children. You're a blessing, thank you all so much." CPR hero James also visited the family in the hospital, where he shared a tearful embrace with Emily. "I'm really so happy that you're okay," he told her, "and the babies too." In the video captured by Thomas Mitchell, you can hear the desperation as the men fight to save the children. You can see how in the middle of that Texas storm, strangers from the community all banded together for a great purpose, saving a human life. At least 15 people were killed in those severe storms, but because of the goodwill of 6 passing heroes, that number wasn't 19. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with someone who may find it interesting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.